Hi DIY Mummies, today I'm going to show you how to make a fabric flower. So in this case, this is either a fabric peony or a fabric cabbage rose. What you need to make these is this pattern for the petals, which you can find on the DIYmummy.com. Just search for fabric roses, you'll find it. You need a candle, you need some thread, you need scissors, you need a needle, and you also need some fabric. Now the best fabric is polyester so that you can singe the edges of your flowers. I like to use a polyester satin. I've also had good experiences with polyester organza. You can also try fabrics like acetate lining, which singes nicely, or polyester lace also works really well. I have used chiffon, but I found that the petals were a bit too floppy, so organza is one of my favorites. I also like combining fabrics, so in this tutorial I'm going to combine the polyester satin with the polyester organza. Let's begin. Alright, so what we're going to do first is cut out our petals. So we'll have to take our pattern, cut it out. Now there's 4 different sizes of petals, going from a small to a large size. And this is what's going to make our flower realistic looking. Because the small petals are going to be in the center of the flower, and the larger petals are going to be on the outside of the flower. Okay, so we are going to cut out 6 of each of these 4 sizes. So you're going to have 24 petals altogether. I'm going to cut 3 of each size in the satin, and I'm going to cut 3 of each size in my organza. Now the trick that I use is I just fold it over so that I just have 3 layers of fabric. Do that. Now these don't have to be exact because they're going to be burning and curling the edges of these petals anyway. So if there's little rough spots or nicks, those are going to be covered up by the curling. So don't worry about being too exact. You don't need to spend too much time. So there's 3 of these. Now I'm going to continue with the other sizes. Now I cut 3 of each of the satin, and what I would now do is cut 3 of each of the organza. I already have some petals from a previous project, so that's done. Now's the fun part. This is singeing and curling the edges of these petals. So we take a lit candle, make sure that it's safe. I'm going to take my one at a time, my fabric petals, and I'm just going to put it close to the lit flame, but not so close that I burn the fabric itself. I'm going to singe all the way around. See how that's starting to curl and singe? All the way around my petal. Now this seals the raw edge of my fabric, and it also makes my petals look realistic because the petal is going to curve inward. Just like that. Now we're going to repeat that with all the petals we just cut. All 24 petals. Now this is a really relaxing project. It's a fantastic project to do while you're watching Netflix after the kids go to bed. And there we go, we have our 3 of each size in the satin. And like I said before, I already made some in the organza of all the different sizes. Aren't they so pretty? I think these would be beautiful as is, just for a decoration to sprinkle around. Okay, now comes the fun part. We're gonna sew our fabric flower together. Okay, to sew our fabric flower, we need our needle and a thread. I doubled the thread on here just to make it extra strong. I am going to choose to make a cabbage rose, so I'm going to start with a center that is higher up, and the outsides will be lower down, and I'm also not going to gather the petals. You could gather the petals slightly to make a peony. So first off, we start with the smallest petal. I'm going to start with the satin and then do an organza petal, satin, organza, and rotate between the two. I'm going to take it width-wise like this, roll it up, and I'm just going to tack down the bottom with a few stitches like this. Okay, one. Take that same small size in organza. I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to find my seam and I'm going to kind of wrap it around that seam like this. Okay. I'm just going to tap down. Tap down the bottom again. So that's petal number 2. Now remember, we have 6 petals in each of the sizes, so let's do the next one. Oops. The smallest petal in the satin. So we're starting, like I said, higher in the center, going down. So I'm just going down slightly, wrapping it around, tacking down the bottom, just with some simple stitches, poking my needle in. Back to the organza, this is number 4. Okay, so that's 6 of our smallest size. As you can see, I started high in the center and going down. Now we're moving on to the next size. Wrapping it around, covering up our empty seam. So we're just kind of overlapping the petals around each other. And tacking on the bottom here. And now if you run out of thread, which you will, you just have to put a knot in it. You go back into the fabric, go back again, pull a knot through like this, there we go, and I'm going to cut that. Alright, and there we go. That is our finished cabbage rose made out of fabric and using a candle, a needle, and thread. Back looks like, and the front. Now if you wanted to, you could add more petals to make a fuller rose. If you're using these for a bridal bouquet, it's gorgeous to have smaller roses and larger roses, various different sizes and colors as well. If you want more details on how to make fabric flowers and other fun DIYs, you can visit my blog, thediymommy.com, and come back soon and I'll share with you how to make a bridal bouquet with fabric flowers. Thanks so much for watching.